Okay, here's another video on AKJames762. This is a bit of an older video than the one I debunked before, but I'm pretty sure he still stands by what he says, and I have a bit more to say against this video of his and the others, so let's begin.
Hey guys, AKJames762 here. I guess I need to clarify my views on illegal immigration because I'm getting PMs and comments on my videos and shit saying that I'm a racist for my views on illegal immigration because I made some racist remarks. Now, I don't recall ever making any type of racist remark on YouTube or in general, but I'm going to go into what I believe the immigration system should be. The illegal immigration system, all this, illegal immigration bullshit. If you come to this country illegally, if you cross the border, come in from the ocean, on one of the coastlines, whatever. If you come here illegally, you don't file for citizenship, you don't have papers, whatever, you are a criminal. You have no rights.
Okay. The law isn't the final say on what's right. In fact, just because something's a law doesn't mean it's just. So, yeah, if you do come into this country illegally, you are a criminal. But does that mean you really did something bad? That you harmed another person? No, it doesn't. Just because you break a law and are a criminal doesn't mean you harmed another person, which would be the only thing laws should be against is harming other people, but no. They have laws against people just going into an area surrounded by an imaginary border politicians, men and women in suits who are there to rule over us unjustly. I mean, that's all you're doing when you're going to a country legally, is you're going, without the authorization of the men and women in suits, into an area with an imaginary border drawn around it by them. I mean, that's all you're doing, is going to an area with an imaginary border drawn by men and women in suits who rule over it unfairly, with no authorization to rule over it, and yet they rule over it. No rights. I think you might have a right to a trial by jury, but I wouldn't just say, oh, you have no rights. Like, you did something so bad, whatever can happen to you can happen to you. Alright, let's keep going.
You don't have the right to fucking breathe in this country.
Oh my god, are you serious? You don't have the right to fucking breathe in this country. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of, make fun of that a bit, because that's just stupid, okay? You're a person, you're a human being, you have a right, you have a freedom of movement, as long as you aren't trespassing on other people's homes and houses and businesses and all that. And no, crossing an imaginary border without authorization of the men and women in suits that drew that imaginary border isn't trespassing. That's just the area of land they think they have the right to rule over. They think they have a right to control who comes in and out of the country. Well, they don't, okay? I mean, if immigrants can find their own place to stay, own place to live, then who cares they came in illegally? Who cares? I mean, don't have the right to breathe here. I mean, come on, James, come on.
Without documentation, alright?
Yeah, gotta have those papers, of course. Your papers, please. I mean, you gotta have papers to come in this country legally, otherwise you're a bad person and, bad things should happen to you. I mean, come on. Same old bordertarian bullshit. That's what AKJames762 is. He's a bordertarian, A bordertarian is a person that believes in borders and all this border patrol and regulation, immigration, restriction crap. Well, that's what he is. Bordertarian. Sounds conservative, as I said before, and to say something new, he's a bordertarian. So let's move on. It's only 4 minutes, 54 seconds for the video, 3 more minutes remaining, blah blah.
My view on illegal immigrants is if you come here, you have no fucking rights. The only right you have is right this way, back to your own fucking country.
They took our jobs! Can you believe what this guy sounds like? Besides being the standard bordertarian conservadoink, he sounds like those people on South Park that go, "He took their jobs." He's telling people that they should just fucking leave because they came over here legally is a dick move. And come to think of it, a lot of people are descendants of the settlers that came into this country and pushed away Native Americans. Where were their papers, James? The Native Americans were here first. So you don't really have any water. Your point doesn't hold any water. Let's go on.
Now, I guess people are saying that I am targeting Mexicans or Hispanics or whatever that are crossing the southern border. No, I don't give a fuck if it's a Mexican. I don't care if it's an African, a German. I don't give a fuck if it's some random ass white dude from Canada that crosses the border illegally trying to live here. I don't care whether you are white, black, brown, yellow, purple, khaki, whatever the hell color you are, or whatever color you think you are, whatever. You're not being singled out. The race, ethnicity is not being singled out. If you are an illegal immigrant, your race does not matter. You are a criminal.
Yeah, a criminal. I mean, look, AK James, seriously, law does not determine morality. It doesn't. The law isn't what's right and what's wrong. It's what is and what isn't allowed, as one YouTuber, I forgot from long ago, put it. It's what is and what isn't allowed. It isn't necessarily what's right and what's wrong. There are laws that are wrong. There are laws that are unjust. There are laws that throw you in a cage for skipping school, doing a plant, owning a certain gun. What else? You know, you get spied on, you have to pay for war, you get taxed, there are all these regulations on businesses, there's police brutality, there's all this thing the law covers, but just because it's the law, or should I say the law, it doesn't make it just, and this guy acts like, oh yeah, you are a criminal, you know, thus you deserve bad things to happen to you by the law. I mean, come on.
That is the only thing that matters.
No, it doesn't. That's not the only thing that matters, James. What matters is, did you harm another person? Did you violate someone else's rights? Did you attack someone? Did you kill someone? Did you rape someone? Did you steal from someone? Did you rob someone? Did you assault someone? Illegal immigration falls under none of that shit. It doesn't. It just doesn't. You know, it's a crime because potatoes. It's a crime because the elite doesn't want certain people here because of whatever reason. It's a crime because they want control. You know, yada yada yada. It's arbitrarily a crime to come in here illegally.
Criminals in this country should have no rights.
What about right to a trial by jury or a right to face your accuser? Those not matter to you, AK James? You know, just if they're said to break the law, you know, you crush them. Is that it? I mean, come on, these are laws in the Constitution about trial by jury and your right to face your accuser. You seem to be a real big buff on that, yet you don't really care about it. I mean, go figure.
You should not. We shouldn't be wasting our fucking tax dollars putting them in United States prisons, wasting our fucking money on keeping them in our prison system.
Well, they shouldn't be put in prison at all because they didn't do anything wrong. It's not wrong to just come into open space or space, claim to be legitimately ruled by men and women who drew an imaginary border around it. That's not wrong. If you're an illegal immigrant and you find your own place to stay at or even buy or live at, what's the problem? I mean, what's the problem if I invite, okay, how about this? Whose authority is it to look over illegal immigrants? Like if I have an illegal immigrant over for dinner, or if I invite an illegal immigrant over to my business for potential employment, whose business is that other than me and that illegal immigrants? Whose? The government's? They're not involved. It's my business. I'm the one inviting them over there. Or it's my house. I'm the one inviting over them. It's just between me and them. Yet the government acts like, oh, we gotta regulate who goes in and out. Yeah, no, they don't get that right. It's not a right. You don't have a right to control freedom of movement. Enough of this authoritarian bullshit, James.
We need to, if we find an illegal immigrant, we should take them and transport them back to their own country to a prison, not just drop them off at the border or whatever. Take them to a prison in their country and drop them off at that prison.
Oh, so it's not enough that you are restricting someone's freedom of movement who is harming no one. You gotta put them in a prison in their own status country they left, they escaped from or whatever. That's not enough for you, James? He's like, oh, they can't just go back to their country, they gotta go back to their countries in their jails. I mean, come on. Oh my god, this guy.
And tell that country, this person was an illegal immigrant to our country, administer whatever punishment you would for someone who is an illegal immigrant in your country. Let's flip the roles. Let's say you go to Mexico illegally, and you're an illegal immigrant of Mexico, or you're an illegal immigrant of France, or somewhere like that. They find out you're illegal, they'll take your ass to fucking prison. And you may never see the light of day again.
And that's not right. You can't just, throw people in boxes because, oh, they went to an area you claim was yours but really wasn't. That really isn't. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck that way, too. And yeah, they would throw your ass in jail because they feel they have a right to restrict how people move about their lives because they're assholes. That makes them assholes. They're assholes for doing it. They're assholes for the control. They're assholes, period.
Why can't we do that here?
Because it's wrong. It's wrong if they do it. It's wrong if we do it. Oh, and by the way, I got a video that really busts this guy's and other people who agree with him's ass when it comes to immigration policy, when it comes to how people who go over the borders illegally really should be treated. It's Shane Killian's video, How to Argue for Border Restrictions, and contrary to the title, it's really in favor of immigration, illegal or otherwise. It's against all these laws against illegal immigrants, illegal immigration, that kind of thing.
You know? Hey, we'll take their ass to prison. Not a U.S. prison. Take them back to their own country, to their prison, and deal with their country's punishment. Stop wasting our money. I don't know how I can be any more clear on what I discuss with illegal immigration. I don't understand how I can be any more clear. And honestly, I don't know how this is being construed as racism. But, I mean, trolls are going to run their mouths, I guess. You can...
Okay, if people are accusing you of being racist, I'll agree with you that you aren't being racist and that they should just stop running their mouths, as you said. I agree with that and only that, because I don't like border-tearing views on people. I don't like border-tearing views that you gotta come here legally, otherwise we're launching you out from cannons like Evel Knievel and into boxes or something. I mean, I don't believe in injecting people from an area of land that men assholes in suits claim to have the right to roll over. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in controlling people's freedom of movement. As long as they aren't trespassing, illegal immigration does not count as trespassing. Public land or land ruled by the elite is not the same as private property. So that doesn't count, and if they're just going where they want to without harming anyone, leave them the fuck alone.
Say what you want. Those are my views. If you want to prove it to me how it is racism and explain to me how it is racism, be my guest. But I don't see the racism. Every single person I have talked to feels the exact same way I do. To a T.
That doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if a bunch of people believe in this, or a few people believe in this, or even one person believes it. It doesn't make it right. It's like, ooh, my demographics. It's like, come on.
Every single person I've talked to. People at work, my family, my friends, everybody.
That doesn't have any bearing on it, James. It doesn't have any bearing on, if it's ethical to treat these people in such a way for just moving around. It doesn't. I could have a whole bunch of people that agree with me on how to handle illegal immigrants, and it wouldn't make it right by that alone. It wouldn't make it right by the numbers. What would make it right is how it is and how you should treat people based on ethics, first principles, the NAP. That's what makes it right. Not, oh, my demographics.
Maybe it's just the part of the country I'm in. Maybe it's the people I'm around. I don't know.
Well, yeah, demographics, James.
Everybody I know feels that way. Every single person I know. They
yeah, demographics.
do not care about illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants should have no rights. I don't give a fuck if they're coming from Mexico, Canada, Thailand, Prague. I don't give a fuck. South Africa, Madagascar.
Okay, we get it, James.
You have no fucking rights if you don't come here legally.
Of course, because I'm a bordertarian, and I believe men and women in suits have a right to rule over land that I drew an imaginary border around. I don't believe in people's right of freedom of movement. I don't believe in the NAP. I just think, if you broke the rules, you deserve to be punished for it, period. I mean, oh my god, this guy, yeah, I might debunk future videos of his, but it's just, this video alone is just cringy. It's cringy to, trusting the elite to keep your borders safe, your country safe, and whatnot.
And that's all I'm going to ramble on about that. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for me. Take it easy.
Yeah, no. As you can see by here, I just liked, oh, and this is on my, I just realized this is on my filming account. But of course, I'm gonna post this on my Ancap account. But anyways, yeah, I'm not a bordertarian. I'm not a statist. I'm an anarchist, or agorist, or voluntarist, or anarcho-capitalist, whatever the word is, that believes you have a right to go where you want to, as long as you aren't trespassing on private property. If you're just going where you're allowed to go like no one's business, because it is no one's business, that's just fine. I don't care if you break those rules. I care if you violate the NAP. I care if you rape, murder, kidnap, assault, steal, stuff such as that, you know, violates the NAP. That's what I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned with you breaking arbitrary rules and semantics. I'm just concerned with you being a good person and abiding by the NAP. That's all I'm concerned with. People such as AKJames, they don't care about that. They want you thrown in a cage for you breaking the rules, okay? They want you thrown in the cage because you didn't do what the men and women in suits who unfairly rule over the land told you to do. They told you to come in. They told you to come in here legally. You went ahead and came in here illegally. That's breaking the rules. And what do we do to people who break the rules? We break them. We harm them, we punish them because, hey, they broke the rules, they're criminals. See, this guy doesn't think. He just goes with the narrative of the state. If the state says illegal immigrants are bad, if they're breaking the rules, then they're bad, okay? That's his view, that's his mentality. But people such as me and others know better and rise above bordertarianism. You know, we don't believe in borders by the state. You know, borders on your private property, but not by a monopoly and violence known as a state, you know? So, you either have freedom or you don't. You get to go where you want, or you aren't trespassing on private property, or you aren't trespassing at all. You know, they can make whatever fucking rules they want, all legal immigration, but if it's the state doing it, and you're not harming anyone, period, then they need to fuck off, not you.